Blessings. Today we bring you 25 challenging questions to test your knowledge of God's Word. Before we begin, make sure to subscribe and share to spread the wisdom of Scripture. Are you ready? Question 1. What miracle did Moses perform at the Red Sea? A. Turned water into wine. B. Healed the sick. C. Opened the sea for the Israelites to cross. D. Multiply bread. Time to think. And the correct answer is C. Open the sea for the Israelites to cross. Exodus chapter 14, verses 21 to 22. Then Moses stretched out his hand over the sea, and the Lord caused the sea to go back by a strong east wind all that night, and made the sea dry land, and the waters were divided. So the children of Israel went into the midst of the sea on the dry ground, and the waters were a wall to them on their right hand and on their left. Question 2. What miracle did God perform through Elijah on Mount Carmel? A. Made it rain. B. Lit an altar with fire from heaven. C. Healed a leper. D. Multiplied a widow's oil. Time to think. And the correct answer is B. Lit an altar with fire from heaven. 1 Kings chapter 18, verse 38. Then the fire of the Lord fell and consumed the burnt sacrifice, and the wood and the stones and the dust, and it licked up the water that was in the trench. Question 3. What did Elisha do with the lost axe? A. Turned it into gold. B. Made it float on water. C. Duplicated it. D. Made it disappear. Time to think. And the correct answer is B. Made it float on water. 2 Kings chapter 6, verse 6. So the man of God said, "Where did it fall?" And he showed him the place. So he cut off a stick and threw it in there, and he made the iron float. Question 4. What happened to Lot's wife when she looked back? A. She became a pillar of salt. B. She fell. C. She got sick. D. She got lost. Time to think. And the correct answer is A. She became a pillar of salt. Genesis chapter 19, verse 26. But his wife looked back behind him, and she became a pillar of salt. Question 5. What miracle happened with the sun during Joshua's battle at Gibeon? A. The sun went dark. B. The sun stood still. C. The sun turned red. D. The sun split. Time to think. And the correct answer is B. The sun stood still. Joshua chapter 10, verse 13. So the sun stood still, and the moon stopped, till the people had revenge upon their enemies. Is this not written in the book of Jasher? So the sun stood still in the midst of heaven, and did not hasten to go down for about a whole day. Question 6. What did God do with the bitter water at Marah? A. Turned it into wine. B. Made it disappear. C. Made it sweet. D. Froze it. Time to think. And the correct answer is C. Made it sweet. Exodus chapter 15, verse 25. So he cried out to the Lord, and the Lord showed him a tree. When he cast it into the waters were made sweet. There he made a statute and an ordinance for them, and there he tested them. Question 7. How was Naaman healed of his leprosy? A. He was dipped 7 times in the Jordan. B. He was touched by Elisha. C. He anointed himself with oil. D. He drank water from the Jordan. Time to think. And the correct answer is A. He was dipped 7 times in the Jordan. 2 Kings chapter 5, verse 14. So he went down and dipped 7 times in the Jordan, according to the saying of the man of God. And his flesh was restored like the flesh of a little child, and he was clean. Question 8. What miracle happened to the widow of Zarephath? A. Her son was raised. B. Her oil and flour did not run out. C. She received gold from heaven. D. She was healed from a disease. Time to think. And the correct answer is B. Her oil and flour did not run out. 1 Kings chapter 17, verse 16. The bin of flour was not used up, nor did the jar of oil run dry, according to the word of the Lord which he spoke by Elijah. Question 9. What miracle happened with Elisha's cloak at the Jordan River? A. The river stopped. B. The river turned to blood. C. The river parted. D. The river dried up. Time to think. And the correct answer is C. The river parted. 2 Kings chapter 2, verse 8. Now Elijah took his mantle, rolled it up, and struck the water, and it was divided this way and that, so that the two of them crossed over on dry ground. Question 10. What happened to the walls of Jericho? A. They fell after trumpets were blown. B. They were destroyed by fire from heaven. C. They became invisible. D. They sank into the ground. Time to think. And the correct answer is A. They fell after trumpets were blown. Joshua chapter 6, verse 20. So the people shouted when the priests blew the trumpets. And it happened when the people heard the sound of the trumpet, and the people shouted with a great shout, that the wall fell down flat. Question 11. What did Moses do to bring water from the rock at Horeb? A. Struck the rock with his staff. B. Prayed to the Lord. C. Poured oil on the rock. D. Spoke to the rock. Time to think. And the correct answer is A. Struck the rock with his staff. Exodus chapter 17, verse 6. Behold, I will stand before you there on the rock in Horeb, and you shall strike the rock, and water will come out of it, that the people may drink. And Moses did so in the sight of the elders of Israel. Question 12. What miracle happened with manna in the desert? A. It fell from heaven daily. B. Sprouted from the ground. C. Fell from trees. D. Appeared inside tents. Time to think. And the correct answer is A. It fell from heaven daily. Exodus chapter 16, verse 4. Then the Lord said to Moses, Behold, I will rain bread from heaven for you, and the people shall go out and gather a certain quota every day, that I may test them whether they will walk in my law or not. Question 13. What happened to the 10 spies who gave a bad report about the promised land? A. They were stoned. B. Died by a plague. C. Were banished. D. Repented. Time to think. And the correct answer is B. Died by a plague. Numbers chapter 14, verse 37. Those very men who brought the evil report about the land died by the plague before the Lord. Question 14. What miracle happened with the 3 Hebrew men in the fiery furnace? A. Died instantly. B. Survived without harm. C. Were rescued by angels. D. The fire went out. Time to think. And the correct answer is B. Survived without harm. Daniel chapter 3, verse 25. Look, I see 4 men loose, walking in the midst of the fire, and they are not hurt, and the form of the 4th is like the Son of God. Question 15. What happened to Korah's sons when they rebelled against Moses? A. The earth swallowed them. B. Burned by fire from heaven. C. Turned into salt. D. Carried by wind. Time to think. And the correct answer is A. The earth swallowed them. Numbers chapter 16, verse 32. And the earth opened its mouth and swallowed them up, with their households and all the men with Korah, with all their goods. Question 16. What did God do to help the Israelites in the battle against the Amorites? A. Sent fire from heaven. B. Sent hailstones. C. Divided the Jordan River. D. Brought down the walls of Jericho. Time to think. And the correct answer is B. Sent hailstones. Joshua chapter 10, verse 11. And it happened, as they fled before Israel, and were on the descent of Beth Horon, that the Lord cast down large hailstones from heaven on them, as far as Azekah, and they died. There were more who died from the hailstones than the children of Israel killed with the sword. Question 17. What did Elisha do with the Shunammite woman's dead child? A. Buried him. B. Raised him. C. Took him to the temple. D. Anointed him with oil. Time to think. And the correct answer is B. Raised him. 2 Kings chapter 4, verses 34 to 35. And he went up and lay on the child, and put his mouth on his mouth, his eyes on his eyes, and his hands on his hands. And he stretched himself out on the child, and the flesh of the child became warm. He returned and walked back and forth in the house, and again went up and stretched himself out on him. Then the child sneezed 7 times, and the child opened his eyes. Question 18. What miracle happened with the burning bush? A. It burned quickly. B. It was not consumed. C. It disappeared. D. It turned into a snake. Time to think. And the correct answer is B. It was not consumed. Exodus chapter 3, verse 2. And the angel of the Lord appeared to him in a flame of fire from the midst of a bush. So he looked, and behold, the bush was burning with fire, but the bush was not consumed. Question 19. What miracle did Moses perform with his staff in Pharaoh's court? A. Turned it into a snake. B. Made it disappear. C. Duplicated it. D. Turned it into gold. Time to think. And the correct answer is A. Turn it into a snake. Exodus chapter 7, verse 10. So Moses and Aaron went into Pharaoh, and they did so, just as the Lord commanded. And Aaron cast down his rod before Pharaoh and before his servants, and it became a serpent. Question 20. What happened to King Nebuchadnezzar because of his pride? A. He was turned into a beast. B. He was blinded. C. He was murdered. D. He was exiled. Time to think. And the correct answer is A. He was turned into a beast. Daniel chapter 4, verse 33. That very hour the word was fulfilled concerning Nebuchadnezzar. He was driven from men and ate grass like oxen. His body was wet with the dew of heaven, till his hair had grown like eagle's feathers and his nails like birds' claws. Question 21. What miracle did God perform in the battle against the Amalekites when Moses raised his hands? A. Sent fire from heaven. B. Made the sun stand still. C. Gave victory to Israel. D. Sent hail on the enemies. Time to think. And the correct answer is C. Gave victory to Israel. Exodus chapter 17, verse 11. And so it was, when Moses held up his hand, that Israel prevailed, and when he let down his hand, Amalek prevailed. Question 22. What happened when the Israelites looked at the bronze serpent? A. They were healed of bites. B. They died instantly. C. Received manna. D. Saw visions. Time to think. And the correct answer is A. They were healed of bites. Numbers chapter 21, verse 9. So Moses made a bronze serpent and put on a pole. And so it was, if a serpent had bitten anyone, when he looked at the bronze serpent, he lived. Question 23. What happened with the Ark of the Covenant when the Israelites crossed the Jordan? A. The water stopped. B. The ark disappeared. C. The ark sank. D. The water turned to blood. Time to think. And the correct answer is A. The water stopped. Joshua chapter 3, verse 16. That the waters which came down from upstream stood still and rose in a heap very far away at Adam, the city that is beside Zarephath. So the waters that went down into the sea of the Arabah, the salt sea, failed and were cut off, and the people crossed over opposite Jericho. Question 24. What happened to the prophet Jonah? A. Swallowed by a great fish. B. Taken to heaven. C. Turned into salt. D. Healed miraculously. Time to think. And the correct answer is A. Swallowed by a great fish. Jonah chapter 1, verse 17. Now the Lord had prepared a great fish to swallow Jonah. And Jonah was in the belly of the fish 3 days and 3 nights. Question 25. What miracle did God perform in the house of Obed-Edom with the Ark of the Covenant? A. Blessed his house. B. Destroyed his house. C. Multiplied his cattle. D. Gave him children. Time to think. And the correct answer is A. Blessed his house. 2 Samuel chapter 6, verse 11. The ark of the Lord remained in the house of Obed-Edom the Gittite 3 months. And the Lord blessed Obed-Edom and all his household. Blessings. Today you will hear 14 Bible characters speaking in the first person, and your mission is to discover who they are. Before we begin, subscribe and share to help us spread the wisdom of the Scriptures. Are you ready? Let's begin.